Bullshit!
Welcome back to the J.O.B. P.O.D., the Job Pod, Episode 4. I'm your host, Tony West, the Bionic Bullshitter. Today I'm here with Blake, the bad guy, Davenport. How's it going, Blake?
It's going good, buddy. I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm great because I'm here with you guys doing the Job Pod. Also with us today is Darius, the Almanac of Wrestling Spiegel. How's it going, Big D?
It's going pretty good, guys. Good to be back on the show. Ready to get it rolling.
All right.
Let's get to it, boys.
Let's jump into our first segment. Welcome back to the J.O.B. P.O.D. Darius Spiegel, let's go ahead and get started with going over what happened this week, man.
So, first and foremost, we got to give a shout-out and a salute to New Jack, who passed away last week of a heart attack. Throw him up, boys. New Jack was one of the most controversial wrestlers of all time. I don't think we need to to go into a lot of that. Maybe he made his name in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, wrestling down there for Jim Cornette. But he got his most mainstream exposure in ECW wrestling for Paul Heyman. Whenever you look up the term ultra-violent in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of New Jack. Like, there are things that New Jack did in and out of the ring during wrestling shows that still have shocked and awed wrestling fans well after the fact. And it'll be something that we talk about for a long time. In terms of his legacy, really it's going to depend on who you talk to. You know, either you are really into his style or you're not, but what you cannot deny is that he made an impression on every single wrestling fan that he came in contact with and who watched one of his matches. So, you know, thoughts go out to his friends and family. New Jack is always going to be a divisive figure in the history of pro wrestling, but you cannot deny that this dude lived and breathed hardcore.
What for you is New Jack's most hardcore moment?
Oh, shit, man. Like, I don't know where you begin with that because, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, the man has committed crimes in the ring just in front of your eyes, and it's all caught for the world to see. And yet, as he says, just like OJ, he got off scot-free. For me, the one that just always sticks out in my mind is the Vic Grimes, like where he tasers his ass and throws him like off the scaffold through all those tables, and I'm like, he's dead. That's all there is to it. The dude's dead. I mean, I don't know if that's it or not. I mean, there's so many that can rank up there, but for me, that's the most memorable.
I think mine is his ass kicking of Gypsy Joe, where he just he did not like the way Gypsy Joe worked, so he just like beat the shit out of this old man for whatever reason. I'm not saying that's like my proudest moment of New Jack, but definitely memorable. So
It's definitely memorable.
Spiegel.
I mean, I'm probably going to have to go back to Gypsy Joe, too. Like, I remember, like, the first time that I watched it, I was like, oh, my God.
Right, yeah.
How is happening in this ring right now? And, I mean, everyone just kind of let it go because, I mean, New Jack was just one of those people, man, that, like, once he got going and he had it in for you, it was done. Like, there was nothing anybody could do about it.
Yeah.
Well, are we just gonna like just completely gloss over the whole mass transit incident?
I was waiting for some.
I didn't pick that one just because I figured one of you guys were going to. But
I mean,
Jesus,
that was not a wrestling match. I mean, that was assault and battery. Yeah. That was murder in the ring. I mean, you know, it is not, you know, like a laughing matter, but like when you're watching it, it's just like, oh my God, like how is this happening?
I just remember taking the fucking scalpel to his head and like just slicing and just blood just spurting out of his forehead the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
I'm one of the boys, Dad. Rest in peace.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've all spoken our piece on New Jack. So, like we've already said a couple times, R.I.P. All right, Spiegel. What else you got for us for this week?
All right, so the big thing right now going into this week is that WWE just had a pay-per-view last night. I'm calling it Backlash. I'm not calling it WrestleMania Backlash because that's just a terrible name. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with Backlash. That's always been one of my favorite pay-per-views. We had a lumberjack match, which ended up being a lumber zombie match. You heard that right.
Jesus.
Lumber zombies. Damian Priest defeated The Miz, and then The Miz and Morrison got eaten by the zombies at the end of the match. Garbage.
Yeah, I've seen the internet blowing up with all this zombie stuff today, and oh man, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, we were talking just a little bit ago about how WWE came out the other week, and they were like, "Yeah, that AEW Blood and Guts match really sent the business back 30 years." I'm like, seriously? That's this factor? Like, you guys have zombies on your program, and I mean, granted, we've had stuff with the Undertaker and Kane and everything, and Bray and the Fiend recently, like, but there's always, there's almost like another like inherent logic that you kind of associate with those characters and the kinds of stories that they're trying to tell there. Poor Damien, dude, like that kid's got all kinds of talent, and he is just getting saddled with bad booking out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great for him. I feel really bad for him.
So was it a handicap match or?
No, like, so in what I heard was that like Morrison was trying to warn Miz about the zombies, and the whole thing with the zombies is that WWE was doing some promotion with Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And so they come in, they have their match. It's not a handicap match, but Morrison's out there to like fight off the zombies for a little bit, and then that was it.
Woo! Right. Okay. Let's move on. I don't even want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
So you did bring up AEW, and I don't know if you got to watch, but I've seen a lot of internet buzz over Cody's promo about being the American Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Have not seen a lot of positive buzz. I have not watched the promo. Have you seen the promo? And if so, what is your take on that promo?
I saw the promo, and they're trying to do a whole USA versus British thing, which, I mean, it's whatever. Like, I know invoking the name of the American Dream, invokes that, emotional response from everybody. I just think that the storytelling can be better, with the story overall. I think they're going to have a good match, Double or Nothing, but, maybe the lead-up could have been a little bit better, and I'm kind of interested to see how they address it on Dynamite this week.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I like AEW. I like Cody Rhodes. I like where he's going. But on this show, I think we got to be fair and balanced when we're calling bullshit on some things. And
Yeah.
from what I've seen, I don't think his message came across the way he intended to.
I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it did either. And a lot of these things, with wrestling ideas, they look really good on paper, but execution-wise, they may not come off as well. And I think this is going to be of that for AEW for sure, and for Cody.
Right. Two things I want to talk about real quick before we move on. I watched the Dark Side of the Ring Brian Pillman edition. Holy shit. So I've seen the Brian Pillman DVDs, and we've all seen, Brian Pillman Jr., which you see Brian Pillman Jr. and he looks so well adjusted. You're like, oh, well, this kid, his dad died and it was bad, but, there was memorial, events and everything, and his life looked pretty smooth. And then you watch Dark Side of the Ring, and holy shit, his life did not go fucking well at all after Brian Pillman died. Like, Melanie Pillman fell the fuck off, dude. Like, I did not even recognize her for like the majority of that show. I was like, who the fuck is this and what happened? And then he started telling stories about his stepdad being a huge piece of shit, which, whew, it was rough, man. I feel for Brian Pillman Jr. and I'm glad that he's overcome that. But if you haven't watched the Brian Pillman Dark Side of the Ring, prepare yourself because it's not all fun. I mean, obviously, the Brian Pillman story isn't the greatest because he died so young, but shit, dude. I mean, after his death, a lot of bad shit happened. So, but I love Dark Side of the Ring, and it was, just like every episode they've done, it was very entertaining. But at the same time, it was heart wrenching. So,
What happened to you, man? Used to be cool.
I'm still cool.
Nah, you've changed, man.
welcome back to the Job Pod, J.O.B. P.O.D. Our next segment, I Used to Be Over. So the name of the game is we get to show each other some pictures, and we all get to vote on if they are over, used to be over, or if they're fucking jabronis. Darius Spiegel, you got the first pick. Go ahead.
All right, boys. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh, man.
a great and powerful Oz.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that is Kevin Nash in the old WCW days as his gimmick named Oz. And he was a wizard, kind of. So, boy.
Kind of.
So are we just saying the gimmick or Nash in general?
We're going the gimmick.
Yeah, jabroni.
Yeah, straight jabroni.
Yeah.
Go ahead and throw fucking Vinny Vegas in there too.
Yeah.
Are we going to throw Vinny Vegas? Because Vinny Vegas got him to WWE.
That's true. Yeah, because Sean saw it and was like, hey, I like this guy. This guy's pretty cool. I think the closest that Oz ever went over was in 2011 when Kevin Nash came back and cost CM Punk the WWE Championship. And for the whole month that he feuded with Kevin Nash until, Nash does what he does and blows quads out, his Twitter handle was CM Punk, currently mad at Oz. That's the most over that Oz has ever been.
Dude, I just remember the video of him taking that fucking mask off and had the white hair and white facial hair, and it was bad.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right, so it's official. Darius, you voted Jabron too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely jabroni.
All right, so it's official. Oz is a fucking jabron.
You keep using this word jabroni, and it's awesome.
All right, on to our next pick.
Oh,
It's the Brood.
Oh my god.
Hold on, Blake. Or Darius, before you say anything. Blake, do you know who that is?
Is it fucking Creed?
Yeah.
It is fucking Creed.
Yep.
How
Boy.
many other songs were WWE pay-per-view theme songs?
My Sacrifice, I know, like they were all over that back in 2001 and 2002.
I feel like that was like
all about it.
I feel like that was like multiple like vignette fucking backdrops was Creed songs.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go over and still over because I liked Creed.
Oh shit! All right, Darius, what's your vote?
I'm going straight jabroni, dude.
Straight jabroni.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, I think we're gonna have a split on this one because I'm gonna say used to be over because I used to dig Creed. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking 8 to 12 years old, and it was like, bah! So we got a split decision on this one, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, how like you said, going back to wrestling, like, how many of their songs was used in wrestling, video packages? I mean, it got them more over to me, So I'm sorry, I've never let go of my own prison. So yeah, it's still over.
Blake's rocking his fucking CD player every day.
Got my Zune, man.
All right, so Creed is a split decision. All right, boys. So here is my last picture for I Used to Be Over. Are you ready?
Let's do it. Oh, come on. Like, you can't do that to me. I fucking liked him.
Wait.
Remember Monav Mencia?
I do remember Monument City. I do remember it.
Oh man, I was never a big fan. So I'm gonna have to go Jabroni.
Blake?
All right, well, here we go again because I fucking love Carlos Mencia.
But is he still over with you?
You know, all right. I'm gonna get a little deep on this one. Not really, but a little. Okay, yeah, he might have stole some material.
Material. Okay.
But if you present it in a way that's entertaining to somebody, and that artist just can't pull it out, I'm sorry. It works for me. As long as it makes it to the forefront, to the light, I don't really give a shit how it gets there. I mean, and let's call spade a spade here. I mean, all of our logos that we use here on this podcast,
those are parody, bro. We didn't straight rip them off.
we literally have to say that now, okay?
Yeah, for real.
So what's your vote for Carlos Mencia?
Well, since nobody's heard from him in like 20 fucking years, I'm saying Used to Be Over.
All right. Well, being the tiebreaker vote, I'm voting he's a fucking jabroni, and he was always a fucking jabroni. And my favorite thing he's ever done was be on stage and get verbally bitch smacked by Joe Rogan. Because when I was like 15, that video was hilarious to me. Yeah. And it's still kind of hilarious. And yeah, he's a fucking jabroni. So, Carlos Mencia, you're a fucking jabroni.
What are you waiting for? Go find a monkey, jabroni!
All right, boys. Well, thank you for playing I Used to Be Over.
Screw you! You're fired!
Welcome back to the Job Pod, J.O.B. P.O.D. Our next game is Future Endeavored. So the name of the game is, I'm going to hit these boys with Creative Has Nothing For You, and they're going to give me the reply, and we're going to have to guess who they are portraying as being let go. All right, Darius, we're going to start with you. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the call.
Okay.
Hey, this is Talent Relations. Creative has nothing for you.
What? No. Come on, man. Like, you can't do this to me, okay? I am blowing up right now, okay? I am a beast. Now, some people have nicknames as the Beast or the Beast Incarnate, but I'm not a metaphorical beast. I'm a literal beast from mythology.
Mantar.
Yes.
Boom! One for me.
I'm glad you saved us on that one, Tony, because I had no clue.
Yeah, I was like,
he's talking about the damn zombie again. I know it.
I was picking up what he's putting down. But I like that, though. Went old school.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Darius, go ahead. Give me a go.
Okay. All right. This is WWE Talent Relations, and I'm really sorry to inform you of this, but Creative has nothing for you.
Dude, what? I mean, I'm so over right now. I run around. I'm naked all the time. I'm getting over with the ministry right now.
Naked Midian?
Yeah, Naked Midian. Boom. Boom. What for Darius?
Jesus Christ.
I didn't have a lot with that one.
He's one of the greatest European champions of all time.
That fanny pack just held.
You just made the bulldog roll in his fucking grave. Just one comment.
True.
Way to go, Almanac.
They fucked him. They fucked him, Britt. All right, Blake. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Talent Relations. Creative has nothing for you.
That can't be. I had one of the greatest table spots of all time. I showed my tits on TV.
Miss Kitty?
Mae Young?
No. Yeah, thank you, Darius. Yes.
I mean, it could have went either way. I mean, you know,
Did Miss Kitty have a fucking table spot that I missed?
like I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, maybe getting railed on a table, maybe. I don't know.
Did Mae Young's tits ever actually hit air?
It did on the DVD. I saw him.
Oh, okay. That explains a lot about you.
Yep.
No explanation needed.
Grandmas are still over. All right. Well, that's our game. Thank you, boys, for playing Future Endeavored. Welcome back to the J.O.B. POD. Our next game is called Now That's What I Call a Theme Song. So the game of the game is basically name that tune. So I'm going to play these boys a snippet of a theme song, and they're going to yell out what they think it is. All right, guys, you ready for your first theme song?
Mm-hmm. Goldberg?
Nope.
We get a 3-second clip?
You want the whole thing?
It is Goldberg, yeah.
Nope.
What?
It's not gonna get... Bing, bing, bing! It is Gilberg. Blake
Same
wins the
tune.
pony. It's not, though. That was Gilberg. Blake wins the pony.
All right, boys. Gonna kind of give you a hint. It's one of the biggest monsters in the business that never got the respect he deserved. So, just let me know if you can hear it.
Abyss.
Oh, yeah. And Tony, I'm surprised you got that because you're not a TNA guy at all.
I know Abyss's theme song, bro.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
well, cool. Fucking Abyss's theme song is apparently over.
Yep.
So, one for Blake, one for me. All right, Darius, you're up.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Heinrich. Heinrich. Heinrich?
it says
Yeah.
it in the fucking song.
Yeah, you did kind of give that one away.
Yeah.
All right. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, buddy.
here's my number 2.
Oh, that is
Oh.
one of the greatest of all time. That is Triple H in China, my time.
Boom. You got it.
All right. From one of the most underrated monsters of all time to one of the greatest factions of all time. Are you ready, boys?
Ready.
All right, let's do this.
Beer money?
No.
TNA, is it TNA?
It is.
Aces and Eights?
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
Good job, Tony.
I was just guessing, dude. I've never heard that song in my fucking life. Darius, do you have another one?
Yeah, hold on. Well, fuck. Can you tell me?
I know what it is. Darius just gives him away within the first, like, I did right. Oh, I don't fucking know, man.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Shelton Benjamin.
Nope.
stop.
Bros Push.
Oh, man. I was thinking
Yep.
about
The
Shelton Benjamin when he has his
Funkasaurus,
mama
you
out there. Fuck. All right. I think Blake won that. I didn't even really keep score, but I think Blake.
Yeah, Blake definitely won.
All right.
Sheldon
Well-
Benjamin is just like,
I just
are
remember,
you
like,
fucking kidding
all,
me?
all was in my head was Shelton Benjamin having his fucking mama out there and shit. All right. So that was Now That's What I Call a Theme Song. Thank you guys for playing. Blake Davenport wins the pony.
Can you book it, sucker?
All right, welcome back to the J.O.B. P.O.D. So our next game is Can You Book It, Sucker? So basically, we're going to throw each other a booking segment, and the others are going to tell us how they would book it. So Darius, my first one is for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to say the year is, don't quote me on this, 93, 94. Macho Man has been pushed to commentary, but he does not want to be on commentary. He wants to stay in the ring. From tales we've heard on shoot interviews and this and that, the one angle that he really wanted to sink his teeth into was versus Shawn Michaels. So I want you to tell me if you had creative control and Vince has given the go-ahead for Macho Man to have a run with Shawn Michaels. Just give me how you would book that angle. What would be your lead up? Where would they have the blow off at? And who would be the overall winner in that storyline?
All right, so I think Macho Man was on commentary for WrestleMania 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I think he did some commentary, or was kind of he was. I know he was on WrestleMania, but not WrestleMania 10, but not in a wrestling role. I think he was more of a guest on WrestleMania 10. So I think you would start at WrestleMania 9. And I don't know if Shawn has the Intercontinental Championship just yet, but at the next pay-per-view, it's probably in your house. You book him in an Intercontinental Championship match, and he wins. And he comes on television, and he's like, I am the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. It doesn't matter who came before me. It doesn't matter who's going to come after me. I will always go down as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. So he comes out every week. He's cutting these promos on how he's the best Intercontinental Champion. He's beating everybody, and obviously he's a heel at this point, so he's doing some underhanded tactics. And Macho Man is on commentary, and he is really, really over Shawn. He is sick and tired of Shawn coming out every week and saying that he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion. Because in Macho Man's mind, the match that put the Intercontinental Championship on the map was the one that he had with Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. That's right. So Macho Man is just going at Shawn on commentary. And this gets back to Shawn. Shawn's not real happy with it. You go into the Royal Rumble. Shawn successfully defends the Intercontinental Championship, and he goes into the Royal Rumble match at the end of the night, and he's just going on a tear. And he ends up, probably about midway through the field. He comes in kind of early. He's midway through the field. And he kind of goes on this tear, and he throws everyone out, and it's just Shawn in the ring. And he's like pointing at, Macho Man. He's like, do you think you can do this? Do you think, that you're better than me? You're never better, And he does what Shawn does during this time. I mean, he cuts a prototypical Shawn Michaels promo on Macho Man. And Macho Man has just had enough. He takes the headset off. He runs in the ring. These two start going at it. Macho Man eliminates Shawn Michaels from the Royal Rumble. And he is pissed. Shawn has just had it with Macho Man. Macho Man has had it with Shawn. And Shawn finally comes out and he says, if you really want me, I'm going to challenge you for, I'm going to put my Intercontinental Championship on the line against you at WrestleMania. But if I beat you, you're gone from WWE. You don't even go back to commentary. You're done. You never step into a wrestling ring again. And Macho Man accepts the challenge. And Macho Man has a match with Shawn. Shawn goes over, and then Macho Man gets written off of TV and probably goes to WCW after that.
All right. Do you have one for me, Blake?
What if the WWE does a screw Brett? No, I'm kidding. Okay, actually, while I'm thinking about that, to me, Owen Hart was the champ that never happened. You have him in this ungodly, terrible Blue Blazer gimmick, that unfortunately he passes away in. But say WWE or WWF is going to give him his time. And, they're like, okay, well, we got to get out of this Blue Blazer gimmick. How do you get him from Blue Blazer to main event status?
All right, so we're picking up on 99, right?
Yep, 99.
Okay. So let's just say, I'm trying to think of a good opponent for him here. So let's say that McMahon's power's in full swing, right? And he's basically running roughshod over everybody. He's using his corporation, his ministry, whatever the shit he's got this week, right? So let's just say Test was one of the guys in the corporation, right? So let's just say that Test has a match on Raw, middle of close to the road to WrestleMania, right? So right before the Rumble, and so Owen has Test beat, and this is a match for a spot, his spot in the Royal Rumble, right? So Owen has Test beat. In comes members of the corporation, let's say Big Show and A-Train, whoever, and they screw Owen Hart. All right, so Owen's in the ring. Test is out. Test has got the number 29, 30 spot, whatever. Owen's in the ring. He's in his blue blazer, and he slumps against the ropes, Raven style, right? So he just lays back against the ropes, and he slowly pulls the blue blazer mask off, and he puts it down in front of him. He just stares at it. And I'm talking Shawn Michaels getting the shiner, passing out in the ring. Commentary goes silent, right? He's sitting there way too fucking long. It's not like he's pulling a gimmick. He's not sitting there and like, oh, he's going to throw a blue blazer gimmick away. He's sitting there way too fucking long, to the point that the next match has started. Fucking Jeff Jarrett comes out, right? Jeff Jarrett's got a match with D'Lo Brown, fucking a throwaway match, all right? Jeff Jarrett comes out. Owen's still sitting in the corner. Jeff Jarrett does his entrance, he's like ready to go. He looks over and there's fucking Owen. He's just staring at the blue blazer gimmick. So he's like, hey, Owen, you okay? Owen just fucking goes off, dude. Starts beating the shit out of Jarrett. Takes his fucking guitar, bashes over his head. D'Lo Brown comes down. He's ready for, his entrance, whatever. Getting ready to get in the match. Owen fucking takes him out. Owen is just crippling people. Owen's fucking doing belly-to-belly suplexes. Owen's putting them in fucking submission holds. Owen's back in the dungeon in his mind. He's back in the dungeon. He's fucking working these guys until they can't move, all right? So now he's on a fucking tear through everybody. So he goes back, go on with the show. We come back for commercial. Owen's in the back ripping shit up. He's fucking knocking over sound systems. He's fucking knocking over, PA systems, whatever, production agents are coming up to him. Hey, Owen, you okay? He's fucking taking them out, dude. Like, this is an Owen Hart we have never seen before. The closest we've seen was when he took on a tear against Bret Hart. All right, we shoot to the next Raw. This is the Raw pre-Rumble. We start the show with Owen in the ring. There's no music. There's no blue blazer gimmick. It's just Owen Hart. He's not even in a fucking singlet, dude. He's in jeans and a ripped t-shirt. And he cuts the promo of his life. You screwed Bret Hart. You screwed my brother. You've pissed on the Hart family name. You've spat in my father's face. You've pushed my mother down. And now you're trying to push me down with the shitty gimmick that's never going to get over. And I'm out here working my ass off. And I am still getting it over because I'm Owen fucking Hart, right? So then McMahon comes out. I didn't screw Bret. Bret screwed Bret. Owen is not hearing any of this shit. He goes up the ramp. He starts taking out McMahon. Shane's coming out. The whole corporation's coming out. They're having to pull Owen apart. It's like fucking Tyson and Austin, but it's Owen and McMahon. All right, so basically you work that work gimmick from that Raw to the Rumble. Owen enters the Rumble at number 1. Test is coming in at number 29. So let's say The Rock is number 30. Owen is on a fucking tear, dude. He's pulling the Shawn Michaels. He's pulling the number 1 entrant all the way to 30. So he gets all the way to number 28. He's had his moments where he's down and he's out, and is he going to go away, blah, blah, blah. But this is the fired up Owen Hart. He's kind of a tweener. He's not babyface. He's not a heel, but he's fucking redeeming himself in the eyes of the fans and the eyes of himself. So he gets to number 29. Here comes Test. Test is in the ring for 2 fucking minutes before Owen just tosses his ass out. He hits him with, a suplex, throws his ass out of the ring. The Rock's music hits. The Rock comes down. Rock and Owen have an actual match. Rock and Owen fucking go, all the way through the whole thing. Bada bing, bada boom. The Rock wins. Corporation comes out. Whatever they got to do, they screw Owen. Owen gets knocked out of the ring. Rock's doing a celebration. Owen goes up and starts pummeling the Rock to the point that he puts Rock in a fucking sharpshooter and breaks one of the Rock's knees. All right. So now you got Rock sidelined. Rock is your Royal Rumble winner. Rock has got a main event spot for the title at WrestleMania. Rock is your number 1 guy. But now Rock's sidelined, right? So then you got Owen versus whoever was the champion at the time. Triple H. I don't fucking know. So Owen's feuding with Triple H, blah, blah, blah. Owen wins the fucking belt on a Raw before WrestleMania. Owen is now your champion. Owen fucking sends in the ring. He doesn't have the moment Bret had. He doesn't have the guys lift him up on his shoulder. He doesn't have all the fanfare. He's just standing in the ring looking at the belt. He starts doing his promo again. They screwed Bret. They screwed my family. They try to piss on me. I'm now the champion. There's nothing you can do to take this away from me. Boom. Rock's music hits. Rock's back. He's got a fucked up knee, but he's got it enough that he can keep going. I've secured my spot at WrestleMania against the world champion. That's you, Owen. It's going to be me and you, one-on-one at WrestleMania in the main event. Fast forward to the main event, Owen and The Rock. They have a Iron Man match, all right? We haven't seen this shit since Bret and Shawn. Mm-hmm. Owen wants to prove that not only is he as good as Bret, but he's better than Bret. Rock is an up-and-comer. Owen's going to take Rock and give him the rub and get him over and successfully push himself to the main event status that he always should have been in, right? So we go to WrestleMania. 2 out of 3 falls. Owen's got 2, or Owen's got 1. Rock's got 1. We get to the final fall, and I mean it's a barn burner, dude. Like Rock's busted open, Owen's busted open. He's got him in the sharpshooter. It looks like Rock's gonna pass out, but at that last, right before he passes out, the bell rings. So it's basically a draw, and then we come to the figurehead, McMahon, whoever comes out. I'm not gonna let you win that way. Blah 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 blah. And then we're restarting this match. We got one more fall. It's him and The Rock, and we're seeing the shades of Owen Hart that we saw with him versus Bret, WrestleMania 10, right, where he was like kicking ass, and it's Owen Hart is giving it his all. You got false finish after false finish. Owen gets him to where Owen is winning this match, and then at some point, Rocky fires up. He hits the comeback. Boom, rock bottom, people's elbow. 1, 2, 3. Rock's your new champion. But Owen did it in the way that he secured his main event status, which leads into future better matches, better career path for Owen Hart. So that's just kind of off the top of my head and on the fly. But if you're putting me in that scenario of booking Owen to be successful, that's what I would go with.
Well, see, I like that, especially because, I mean, you have Triple H just building up out of that. And, if you remember, I mean, his buddy is the one that screwed his brother.
Right.
So,
and eventually, you're going to get to the Triple H and Owen. If you do what I just laid out, you've got Owen to that main event status where you're going to have those programs. His first one's with The Rock. You just given Rock, you strap the rocket ship to Rock, and he's going off now. But you still got Owen as one of those top guys that you can put with a Triple H or with an Austin or with a Taker, whoever. Yeah. But that way he's not doing the fucking blue blazer for the rest of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it, man. I really like that.
And the beginning works too, because I mean, the first person that he snaps off on is Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett and him were tag team champions, like leading into him being the Blue Blazers. So
and very close friends. So him bringing that real, to me, the best stuff was real. It had tinges of being real, right? So if you bring his relationship with Jeff in there, and this is the one guy that he's always been tight with, and now he's crippling this dude. It's a different side of Owen Hart, right? And I think he could have brought that. So
excellent job, Tony. That was good.
Thanks, man.
That was really good.
All right, boys. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with, I know, Blake's favorite game and one of the mainstays of the show, Picture Association. Welcome back to the J.O.B. P.O.D. Job Pod. Now we're getting ready for our favorite segment of the night, Picture Association. So we're each going to throw each other some pictures, and we have to tell each other what those pictures sound like. All right, boys, who wants to go first?
I think I'm going to lead off this week, if that's cool with you boys.
Hit it.
All right. So, on our first image.
The Raven. Nevermore.
What was always crazy to me? One of my favorite angles of all time is when Raven is messing with the Sandman's ex-wife, Lori.
I knew where you were going. Before you started talking, I knew where you were going.
When he was like, he's got his son sitting there doing the Raven pose. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then, as a father, like, especially when you get older and that stuff hits you, you're like, oh my God, that was amazing.
Well, like, it was funny because I rewatched that ECW Rise and Fall like probably once a year until the fucking network ended, but whatever. But like the backstage vignettes where the kid was doing that shit was perfect. But then they had that angle in the ring where like the Sandman goes to hug him, and I think it was Raven or somebody hits him from behind with a fucking cane, and you can see the kid doing the Nevermore thing, and then he's like looking like, am I supposed to be standing here? What do I do? I don't fucking know. All right, Spiegel, what do you got for us?
All right, here we go.
I am Ned.
Yeah.
But actually, I think, is that one where he's like, suck it?
I think this one is the lead up to King of the Ring 98 when he's going to go for the title against Austin. And he says, if I don't beat Austin, I will set myself on fire.
All right, boys, here's my first picture. See if you can tell me what this sounds like.
Bang!
Yeah. DDP.
Do you want to hear some sad shit?
Sure.
Of course I do.
So I've mentioned it on this probably every episode we've had so far. I was not a WCW guy. On Monday nights from elementary school on up, I watched Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. My first introduction to DDP was as the fucking Stalker.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry for you, man.
And I was like, who's this fucking goof with his bullshit? Like, I don't want to see this at all. Mm-hmm. So, kind of sucks. But, going back and rewatching your history and learning, like, how important DDP was gives you a different level of respect. But WWE, man, it just shows you what they can do with a great talent.
Mm-hmm. And
not in a good way. Like, in a really shitty. And he wanted the Undertaker's ugly-ass wife, like, with her... Do you all remember those vignettes where it was like, Sarah?
It was
Sarah.
Yeah.
I like you, Sarah. All right, Blake. Back to you, brother.
All right, starting round 2. All right, gentlemen. What do you hear in this?
You just made the list.
Drink it in, man.
Miss Elizabeth, will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
Oh, hell yeah. Actually, that's her line, but I can't do it in her voice. I just did in his. All right, boys. I'll hit you with my second picture.
I now own WCW.
The line on the contract does say McMahon, but it says Shane McMahon.
Yeah,
I now
there you go.
own WCW.
That was the one I was looking for. What a great setup to a piss poor execution.
Yeah. To this day, though, that's still my favorite episode of Raw because I was like in 8th grade. I wasn't reading dirt sheets at the time. I was just tuning in to all the programming, so I had no clue. And usually my dad would watch like WCW in the lead up to Raw. we had stopped watching it altogether at this point, so I had no clue what was going on.
How could you not?
Yeah,
At that
I mean,
time.
so when this whole Raw segment happened, and the episode started, I was like, oh my god, like, it was like, in game, like, my two worlds are like crossing over, like, what is going on here? This is crazy.
Right. Yep. Huge moment.
Well, and I had no idea it was coming either. Like, I had not read any dirt sheets at that point. Like, it was just out of nowhere to me. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of a callback to, I think it was what you were talking about on the booking segment last week on episode 3, if our viewers can ever get to watch it. When they bought WCW, I think it would have been smart business for, maybe have Shane buy the company, yes, but have him work with Eric Bischoff. And so, I mean, yeah, but still, like, I was listening back, and I think that was the best way to start. That was use Eric Bischoff to, as you said, in the crowd. I might not have done the things exact same as you did, but I still liked where you went with it. So, but yeah, what killed that angle was just the limited availability of talent.
Well, you had guys that had contracts that they were going to get paid to not wrestle, so why would they come?
Oh, right. And, more so than that, I really wish instead of a Raw and SmackDown, they would have kept it as a Raw and a WCW. Keep it a Thunder, keep it a Nitro, what the hell ever you want to call it. But keep it one of those two things. And that way it would have felt like a true brand split. All right, we're back to me now, guys. So, my last pick of the week, one of my favorite recent segments that just popped me and made me laugh, and I think you guys will enjoy this too. This is where he comes out and he's like, he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll tell you what the truth is going to do this Sunday at Money in the Bank. And Kane's like, you're not even in the match. He's like, I'm not? You sure?
Like, what?
He's like, that's on me. Kane, my bad.
All right, Spiegel. See your last one.
All right, I think I may have saved the best one of mine for last.
Oh, God.
Oh, stand back.
Yep.
We'll never make air with that one.
No.
So many people say that WrestleMania is Vince's greatest contribution to the pro wrestling world in general. I say nay. I think that's second. I think Stand Back is number one. What a great segment.
How much cocaine was done in that video shoot? That's man.
All the cocaine. All the cocaine was done for that.
Dude said all the coke.
He's like,
oh, man.
Pritchard, go get some coke. Then I shoot a fucking music video. Such good shit.
You beat me to it. You know what? One of the funnier things about that video is you go to like the DX like reunion shit, and they're making fun of this, and Triple H and Shawn are just dancing in the ring to this.
Badly, super badly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good times. All right, boys. So this is my favorite contribution that this person has ever had in the business, but I want to hear the line.
I'll take them both. I'm hardcore.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, man.
What are you gonna do, Tommy Dreamer?
Oh, I'm hardcore. I'll take them both. Oh, shit. What you gonna do when the big red machine runs wild on you?
I mean, it's pretty much it. Like, he was like, and 50,000 Canaanites.
Canaanites.
Oh, it's good shit. It's such good shit. All right, boys. Thank you for playing Picture Association. Welcome back to the J.O.B. POD. We're here for our main event. This is the segment we call Versus. This week on our main event, we're doing the greatest finisher of all time.
Ooh.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I think I can go first.
All right, Darius Spiegel. Let's hear what you got.
All right, so there are a lot of keys to what makes a great finisher. One is how it's booked. Two is all the creative ways that you can tease this finisher or use this finisher throughout a match. And three, this finisher has to be able to be done to anybody, whether it's a cruiserweight like Rey Mysterio or to someone who's more than 7 feet tall like the Big Show. The greatest finisher of all time is the Stone Cold Stunner. It is a perfect setup. It is a perfect move for Stone Cold, and his moveset and really epitomizes his character inside of the ring. And there has not been a finisher that has come since that more people have imitated, more people have popped for, more people remember. If you haven't watched wrestling in 20 years, you will remember what a Stone Cold Stunner is. Stone Cold Stunner is the greatest finisher of all time.
All right. That is very hard to argue. A lot of massive pops have occurred from Stone Cold Stunners. A lot of Stone Cold Stunners have been given over the years to everybody from the Big Show to Linda fucking McMahon. So,
and Donald Trump.
And Donald fucking Trump. He deserves more than Stunners.
Man, but you know the funniest thing about the Stunner is you perform one of those to your buddies on the playground. Only thing that's really happening there, because they don't know how to sell, because they're all jabronis, is only thing that's happening is your teeth are clicking. That's it.
Like your teeth are clicking, you're standing right back up.
You got to tuck your chin, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose the top three. I mean, you're just going to make your teeth click. That's all it is.
All right, Blake, what do you got? Got the Stone Cold Stunner as Darius's pick. What is yours?
Well, I agree that, the greatest finisher of all time has to be hit out of nowhere. And it has to be performed on, from, like you said, Rey Mysterio all the way up to Big Show. But here's where everything lacks to me in that is the originality. And that's why I'm going to go pedigree. Because I have never seen a move before or after the pedigree that, number one, you're like, how is he pulling that off without killing somebody? Mm-hmm. Or rocking himself in the nuts? Which, if you look, like that finisher evolves over time from completely between the legs to kind of out in front. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Trips learned his lesson somewhere along the way. But, to me, it was the hook of the arms, and it was just, the opponents, it's going to drive your face right down into the mat. To me, it's the most visually appealing finisher of all time. Also, to me, the most original. So, I'm going to say the pedigree.
All right. Well, I can't argue that either. Stunner and the pedigree are both phenomenal finish moves. But my pick is going to be one that I agree with both of you. A great finish has to be able to be done on anybody, but it also comes in how you sell a finish and how the person doing the finish can make memorable moments out of the finish. That's why my pick for the greatest finish of all time is the Sweet Chin Music. Because how many memorable moments can you think of with the Sweet Chin Music? Shelton Benjamin off the top rope right into a Sweet Chin Music, right? Mm-hmm. That was the Raw intro for years. I don't know about you guys, but I will never forget Shawn Michaels tearfully saying, "I'm sorry, I love you," before delivering the ultimate finish to Ric Flair, ending his career with the Sweet Chin Music. Mm-hmm. Multiple ways to set it up. You can do the big build-up where he slaps the knee, does the count with his foot against the canvas before he hits somebody. Maybe he hits somebody, maybe he misses it, gets it again another way, or you can just be in the ring and bam, you just hit somebody with it. So, I think for for the memorable moments that he's created, and as you both said, the memorable ways that he's done that finish on multiple people in multiple different ways, in the ring, out of the ring, backstage. He knocked Bret Hart of a fucking wheelchair. That's pretty memorable to me. I mean, you can't stunner somebody when they're in a fucking wheelchair, and you definitely can't hit them with a pedigree. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's my pick. But again, if I had to pick a top three, it would definitely be the three we've picked here tonight: Stunner, and then the pedigree, and then the sweet chin music. So I think, we all have, as every week, we all have pretty great picks. But I'm gonna stick with mine as sweet chin music as the greatest finisher of all time.
Well, and I'm sticking with mine at the pedigree, but I do think we got to give two honorable mentions here. Blah, easy for me to say. Number one, Christian's Impaler.
Yeah.
How people didn't die on that finisher, I'll never know. I mean, the setup with the kind of the crucifying of the arms behind his back. I mean, that always. And then two, I think the Razor's Edge needs an honorable mention too.
I mean, if we're gonna do honorable mentions, there's a lot. The spear. I mean, I don't even have to say a wrestler and just say the spear. That was an impactful move altogether.
I mean, the tombstone.
Tombstone.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Tombstone was basically the one pile driver that's still allowed to be done by one guy. Maybe two if you count Kane. I think people trust Kane enough to do it.
Yeah. And think of how many, whenever someone kicked out of the Tombstone, it was memorable. Like, I remember, in WrestleMania 25, him and Shawn, or Shawn and Taker.
Yeah.
When Shawn kicked out of the Tombstone, I think it was the first one. And then Undertaker's just kind of laying there, and he just has this, exasperated expression on his face. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And then I think JR just said, I just had an out-of-body experience. He's just going nuts. That's still one of the greatest kickouts of all time. So, I mean, it's not just, the finish of the match, but, also, kicking out of it, if it's a big deal,
Dude, that moment sold me because I believed that the Undertaker's streak was ending that night. I was all fucking in. So, all right. So, greatest finishers of all time: Stone Cold Stunner, Pedigree, and Sweet Chin Music. So, anybody out there wants to pitch in and say what their favorite is, or pick one of our three, let us know. Otherwise, this has been J.O.B. P.O.D. The Job Pod, episode 4. All right, boys. It's been a good time.
Absolutely, boys. As always.
As always, Blake the Bad Guy Davenport, Darius the Almanac Spiegel, and Tony West, the Bionic Bullshitter. Alright, boys. Too sweet.
Rick and Scott Steiner, let me welcome you back.
Oh, Team 3D, you guys are out of your mind. Coming to Atlanta, Georgia, the place that the Steiner brothers got their start in professional wrestling. You guys are out of your mind, making it a table match, because tonight we're going to beat you at your own game. And after it's all said and done, you're going to be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got some fat asses. The only chance you have no chance, but you had a chance, is that you can run lickety-split. You can't run because you got some fat asses. And after it's done, we're going to have a tailgate party for all my freaks out there in Atlanta, Georgia. You wanted some, you got some. This is the big time, boys. You come down that aisle, the Steiner brothers has got something for you. Ooh, it's the dog pound. Ooh.
Todd is good. I said, no he ain't, bitch. No he ain't. And we was on in the lab, and he was drilling that bitch. And yes, that night Todd became God.